This is a TLDR tier list for next week's Mutation. This is based on solo play because your ally is a random factor that cannot be accounted for. Also, this is based on above average co-op knowledge. Mechanical skill is not that important in co-op. Adjust these rankings based on your own knowledge and skill level. Alright, so let's start with Dehaka. Dehaka is S because he has two Hakas, one for each expansion, and if any trickles come by, you can just fight them off with primal hosts, primal worms, impalers, and you can just eat the reanimator that gets close. And for the slivers, you just send a bunch of creeper hosts at the slivers and eventually take him out. Very easy. Zeratul is also S. He's Cannon Man, so you can just place static D at each base. You can have like 1 to 2 DTs outside, or Zeratul himself to kill whatever reanimators. Just right click them, and your cannons and stuff eventually will just take over the game. Tychus, super easy. You just kind of play normally, and when you see a reanimator, you take it out. You right click it or throw a grenade on it or whatever, and game is over. Phoenix, he's fine. I don't think he has really a big problem with this mutation, except that you need to have Warbringer plus like what's that guy? Tal'Darim, maybe Talus on a control group to take care of the reanimators plus trickles, and you have to micro a bit. And you also need to know the speedrun route, or at least a pseudo speedrun route, where you take out the 5, then the 12, then the 11 o'clock slivers in quick succession, then the 6, and then the 8. So if you don't know how to do this, it's going to be kind of hard to actually beat this, because the reanimators will start reanimating bigger things as the waves get stronger. So yeah, it can be a little hectic. And also if the enemy comes with like air units earlier on, Warbringer might not be able to handle by all of those revived air units by himself. Manx, easy S, you just drop bunkers, take out the at least one early on, then you ESO the close ones, or you can ESO the close ones last, you nuke the far ones, and you just kind of stay on one base. Raynor. So Raynor is an interesting one because I did this a few years ago with cheese. This time I did this with a pseudo cheese, which is not completely reliable, but it seems to be pretty good. And Little Aaron did a run of this without cheese at all. So even without cheese, it's very unforgiving, because if you lose your Hyperion to a lava burst while you're trying to take out a shard or sliver, you're just kind of dead because you're gonna run out of time. So your Hyperion cannot die to lava bursts. And sometimes when you summon it, you don't know where the lava bursts are. You just summon it and the lava burst is just there, or it might just happen to spawn near you and you're just kind of screwed. So you really cannot mess up. Carax is S because you can hold one base and then you do the usual, like what is it, the solar lance, delayed solar lance to burn the shards, and then you blast them at the end. Purifier beam on the waves, and you can like siege observers outside your base, and then control click your monoliths to right click any reanimators that get close. Han and Horner is very interesting because the only runs of this are with cheese, and I cheesed this before, and I have not seen a run without a cheese. And I did a pseudo cheese this time where the reanimators essentially trap themselves in the center trying to revive an air unit. I tried this against other races and it's not reliable. Like, you can trap them, but they don't always go there. And if they spawn from a building that's not near the dead air units, then they'll go to your base, which is doable. But as it gets to the late game, if they're not all trapped in the center, then you're kind of screwed. So yeah, and I have a feeling like without cheese, you can hold on for the early game, but then when you take out like the third sliver, you're gonna have to destroy capital ships, and I don't think they can handle revived capital ships. It's just they're too strong. You can, however, spawn camp the waves, so that is good. That makes things really easy. But revived capital ships will still be pretty painful. And on other maps, you can you can zone control and have patrolling Hellions take care of any reanimators that get close. But with Lava Burst, that becomes pretty hard. And with lots of self-destruction, you're just going to keep losing HP to exploding lings and stuff. So not really good for this one. Kerrigan is A. Kerrigan is pretty good because of Omega Worms everywhere. Her issue is that the Lava Burst may take out some of your worms that you have around, and you really have to pay attention, a lot of attention to whatever's going on. Lava Burst also wrecks your Ultralisks. So if you're trying to use Ultralisks to fight, self-destruction wrecks Ultralisks and Zerglings. So you're kind of left with Hydralisks, which if they clump up, you're going to get hit by Lava Bursts, which is also not good. And you're extremely busy. So yeah, not exactly the best. This map also pretty big. The reanimators come from multiple angles, so you have to be paying attention to the minimap all the time. Artanis, this one, I just don't think he is S because of self-destruction and lava burst. You can't really, I mean, you can hold one base. You can do the usual Scythe of Amon strategy, but later on, as units get revived, they're gonna get stronger and stronger. Yes, you're fighting like one at a time, but when reanimators, if they're outside your base, it becomes a little harder to take care of, and you're just gonna keep getting attacked. And unlike people with strong static D, he can't just keep using shield overcharge. He can't just keep fighting. You have to take out the reanimators at some point, and you need like Tempest or something for that. So yeah, you can do it. He's still good, but kind of comp dependent, and hopefully yeah, you need like reanimator luck. Hope they go like close to your base so you can take them out. Stukov. Stukov really needs a ground comp because if you're fighting an air comp, you're gonna need more Diamondbacks, which lowers like reduces the power of your siege tanks. So if you watch my latest run, you can use Diamondbacks to patrol and take out reanimators, and you deep tunnel tanks to the slivers and take them out along with your top bars. If your Alexander gets killed by a lava burst, then you're kind of screwed. You need it to steal the capital ships so that they don't harass your tanks. But yeah, if you're fighting a ground comp, it's pretty decent. You do have to pay attention because one of your Diamondback groups has to be on the field where there will be lava bursts. Yeah, so yeah, Swan, Swan is good. His problem is just that factories might get killed by lava bursts. But aside from that, he really doesn't have a problem. The solution to this problem is more factories. You just have tons of factories nearby and you do the usual drilling. So if you don't know how to drill, you should check out my guide. Make sure that you know exactly like how to inch your factories close enough so that they don't draw aggro. And you just defend at home with your super powerful turrets. Statman, Super Gary needs to be careful of lava bursts, but other than that, like you don't really care too much about trickles because your lings are so powerful, and your Statalites give you vision, so you can see where the reanimators are. They'll start hitting your Statalites, the revived marines and stuff. So you just need to fly over there and take them out. As for the slivers, you kind of just run in. So once you take out, you're not going to let any reanimators stay alive. So once you kill one, then you charge in, take out the sliver, and then go back home. Abathur. Oh man, Abathur. I thought was really bad. I thought he was really bad. Then I switched to P2 and I used all swarm hosts until the mid game. Then I got 3 brutalists for like emergency control, emergency reanimator control, and then I just like controlled swarm hosts, and swarm hosts are so brainless. It's so easy. I can't believe I spent so many attempts trying to use P1 Ravagers when P2 swarm hosts was just like the way to do it. And since it's swarm hosts, you can really do this against any comp. It's the early game that's kind of tricky. So you have to be careful not to lose your swarm host when you're trying to get 100 biomass on the first 2. Nova is pretty good. Her issue is that you have to pay attention a lot to make sure you snipe the enemies. The reanimators, yeah. So basically, you leave like a tank or so at each base, and then leave some liberators to take out the trickles, and then the rest of your liberators go just like take out the sliver and then fly away. Needs some work, but still pretty strong. You can also airstrike the attack waves. Zagara. Zagara is yeah, pushing is really difficult, especially with self-destruction plus lava bursts burning your dudes. If you use bio launchers, yes, but bio launchers don't work all the time because lava bursts may take them out. And if you use P1 Scourge like I did, you'll have to defend against lots of trickles, which works, but requires good control. And you need to like pay attention to your base and stuff, control your bio launchers to take out the reanimators before they revive too many things, because self-destruction hurts. Alarak. Sim Alarak is similar to Raynor, except that his tactic of sniping the slivers is a lot easier and a lot more forgiving, because you just use a War Prism, you drop a Havoc out, you overcharge the War Prism, drop a Havoc out, clear the units nearby, then drop a probe, build 2 pylons, triple overcharge the pylons and the War Prism, and shoot the sliver with a Havoc boosting the damage. That's pretty much it. And you also need to dodge the lightning and stuff, but that's about it. It's a lot easier than Raynor's, and even with Lava Burst, you can still dodge. The last one is Vorazun. Vorazun doesn't like self-destruction. You basically use Dark Pylon Wall to defend yourself, and on this map, if your DTs revive, they will send Overseers towards the Nexus that they revive from, which means that any units standing outside your base will attack your wall because they're going to fly past the wall towards the Nexus. That means you need cannons near your Dark Pylons and stuff to make sure that this Overseer, Raven, or Oracle gets shot down before the dudes in the front deal too much damage. And with your time stops, you'll use them to destroy the slivers. That part is easy. You also have Corsairs to spawn camp, but that's not as easy as it seems. And if you're fighting a non-Terran comp, you're going to deal with a lot of detectors from early on, which can be problematic. And yeah, so lot of little tactics involved to make it work for Warzone, and it gets kind of hectic if you aren't sure what you're doing. So I'll not recommend it. That's it for this tier list. You can extrapolate this info to your duel runs. Good luck with the mutation.